Other sugar daddy?
I don't know where I met him from. I think we have mutual friends because he's in the military and he's stationed down in San Diego. And he'll just send me like money like here and there. Like he'll be like, "Hey, like what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." He goes, "Do you want to get your nails done?" I'm like, "Sure." He'll send me like $60. Or if he knows like I'm going out with friends, he'll
Are
send me.
you still
like,
talking
money.
to him?
No. This was like 2 months ago.
How long were you involved with this guy?
Before my last relationship to the current one, it was like a 3-month time span. So it was like then, and then it was like on and off for like since I was a senior in high school or freshman
With the
in
sugar
college.
daddy?
Yeah,
So 2 or 3 years then.
yeah. It's been a while.
And he would just send you money. How much money do you think total he sent you?
Maybe like 10 grand.
How old was he?
He's like 23. Yeah, because we're only a
23.
couple years apart.
And it sounded like you've been in a couple relationships. At any point, were you receiving money from him while you were in a relationship?
No.
Really?
Yes. You can look at my Venmo history.
Well,
I'll pull that up right now.
I'll take your word for it. But you said you were on and off with a sugar daddy for 2 to 3 years. And so you said he'd send you $10,000. Did you ever send him any revealing photos or anything like that?
No,
Or
he just wants someone to talk to. Just like
just talk?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever meet up in person?
We met up one time. It was because it was his family, or not his family, his brother. I knew his brother, and it was when he was coming back home from basic, and that was the only time I saw him.
Did you guys hook up or anything?
Nope.
I don't know. How old was he?
At that point,
Yeah.
19.
The fucker, 19? Bro, these fucking guys are ruining the dating marketplace.
There are a lot of men in the military that do that.
Yeah.
I have a lot
That
of friends
simp?
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
I have a lot of friends
simps.
that have told me that men, like Army guys or Marines, will send them money just because I don't understand it, but it's very common.
Buy a Corvette or some bullshit. Buy a fucking Mustang.
Yeah.
Waste your money on that shit.
They'll just send money to just like any fat floozy that is around. That's what you think they do?
There are a lot of
Bro.
stuff like that happens
honestly, it's
in
the
the military.
military,
You'd
for
be very
Dude,
surprised.
it's the plastics in the water, dude.
It's sad, but it happens.
What is going
often.
on to our men? Damn,
really
that's
weird.
crazy. You're Christian, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
What denomination?
Southern Baptist.
Southern Baptist. Okay. You said you did send a guy like a bikini photo?
Yeah.
Okay. Andrew, question for you. Does this, is that considered sex work?
Yes.
So how do you reconcile doing sex work with your Christian faith?
You think that's sex work?
Yes.
You received money for like was it a nude photo or?
No, it was a bikini, and it's posted on my Instagram too.
Why did he
How
pay-
is
why
that?
did he
Well,
pay
how
for
is
it?
that not? The purpose of that is not to sell sexualization for money. How is that not prostitution?
I'm trying to think.
Well, don't try too hard.
That's literally what my brain does all the time. It works a little slow.
Would you agree that doing, say, like a woman does OnlyFans?
Hang on, let her answer, please.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, girl.
I would say, like, from both point of views, like, yeah, it's something, like, I shouldn't have done in the moment, but in the time frame, like, I needed money because there's something going on with my horse, and I needed the money, so it was kind of like not like an ego. It was out of my characteristic or character trait to do that. Would I do that again? No. But on the flip side, I do see how you can see it as it is prostitution in a way.
No. I'm not asking how you think I see it. I've told you how I see it. I'm asking you how that could be anything other than selling sexualization for money. How is it anything other than that?
I don't think it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, and is that not prostitution?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did engage in a form of prostitution, right?
Yeah.
Saying that is incompatible with Christian ethics, correct?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Damn.
I mean, That's all right. Just it's fine. Just like I said, that whole accountability thing. I don't see how it could be anything other than that. That's all.
It does come the accountability part. I think that
Yeah.
a lot of people it sounds weirder than when you lay it down, and when it's laid down and when you say it and you break it up like you just did, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. So I think you make a great point here with the normalization in society, how people can kind of do all sorts of mental gymnastics so that they don't think the thing that they're engaging in is the thing they're engaging in. There's all sorts of societal pressures and this and that. But I don't think that gives you a pass on the accountability front, right? So I think that recognizing that you did what you did, taking accountability for it, that's how you actually move past, the actual thing itself. That's what I think. Does that make sense? Or am I speaking in Spanglish here?
No, I agree.
Es muy claro.
Do you
Es muy
regret it?
claro.
Yeah, I regret it because it was a hard point in my life. So
Yeah, right. But that's not accountability. That's a justification, right? Not accountability. It's like, yeah, I regret doing it, but here's my justification for why. It's like, really,
Well, I won't
so
do
for
it
instance, so let me kind of give you a little bit of pushback here. If anybody came to you who's a friend of yours who was a Christian and said, think about engaging in prostitution, would you allow any justification for it?
no.
No. So, I mean, that's that, right? So there's no reason to ever make the justification, just the responsibility aspect, and that's what will always make you stand out from my perspective.
You hear one, take one. And so I think that
You had a sugar daddy, correct?
I've had, yeah.
More than one?
Yes.
Were you a dancer too?
No.
two is crazy.
Okay,
I can't dance, unfortunately.
fair enough.
She could
By
cry.
dance, you mean stripping?
Yes.
Okay. How many sugar daddies have you had?
I don't think I've ever really kept count. I mean, to me, a sugar daddy is just anybody that pays you for your time. So I did go through a phase where I was on a website where.
Seeking?
No, it's different. It's called whatsyourprice.com.
This is a new one.
Sponsor.
I've used that
I have
one.
not heard of that one.
So you had more than 5 sugar daddies.
Okay. So you've had a handful of
A lot.
more
yeah.
than 10?
Yes, definitely.
More than 20?
Well, yes.
More than 30?
Probably yes.
More than, have you done
I did it for a year, so yes, I've
How many?
had
How many?
probably
100?
yes,
No, 100?
yes. When they paid for your time.
100 different men.
Do you want me to tell you how the website works so that way you don't question
Yeah, yeah.
my
Sure.
oh my god, I'm rich. It was more so on What's Your Price? It's they agree on a date with you, right? So you
Yeah.
send either you send them or they send you a request where it's $200 for a date, just first date. So then you can either accept or ask for more, ask for whatever you want. So then once you guys agree on a price for that first date, you guys
Yeah.
go on a date, they pay you, and it's just for the first date. And then if you wish to continue or not, then that's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on a lot of first dates for,
How
$200 to
many-
$500.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website. It says 126 is the average offer amount. 56 million.
It is the
Does she
average.
look average?
Five.
I mean,
So it was never
5 million.
consistent. It was,
I've only
different
had
guys
probably 3 consistent ones.
usually. Okay.
Okay.
What's your
Yeah.
price.com?
But yeah, the average for first dates is usually probably less for most people. For me, my minimum was always $200 for a date.
And you said you went on over 100 dates.
I did it for a year, and I did a lot.
So what
yeah.
was this like?
How did you establish that? How did you establish that you expected $200 to be paid on the date?
Well, for me, it was just I thought 200 was okay, it's enough to pitch in for rent, bills, and all that. So I didn't
But-
really expect more for a first date.
Okay, so what was the average age of the men? Would you say that you were going on dates?
30s.
30s. Okay. How many? You said over 100 different dates.
Probably, yeah.
Did you ever go on a second date with any of these guys?
Yes.
Okay. But it was 100 individual men that you went on dates with?
Yeah, throughout the year.
Okay. And did you date any of them?
Date isn't like actually wanted something with them?
Yes.
No,
So your intentions to be on the app were
Make
solely
money.
to make money?
correct.
I mean, this is not a very good endorsement of this this app, because the guys, I assume, want to go on a date. They're even willing to pay for it in the hopes of getting into a relationship. You went on 100 plus. Wait, question. So you said you went on like second dates,
Yes.
third dates?
Yeah.
Would you like? What's the most amount of dates that you went on with one guy?
I would say only 3 of them were like actually like, I would actually like see them more than once, like maybe like once a week.
Okay, and they would continue to pay you for dates, right?
Correct,
Would
yes.
they have to pay you more for follow-up dates, or the same?
No, just the same.
And-
Sometimes they'd give me more
yeah.
though, depending on like what I needed help with.
Now, of the 100 plus men that you met from this website, did you sleep with any of them?
No.
Okay. And trying to think
It's
here.
a great website.
I've also used that.
But-
It's a good
so-
website. It's a really
Yeah.
good website.
Wait, you've used it?
I have used that website.
You didn't tell us about the website.
Well, I honestly kind of forgot about it. Like,
This is new to me. I've never heard about this before. I'm
Yeah.
surprised I haven't heard about it
He's
sooner.
like, I'm gonna go sign up later.
No, I ain't paying. I don't care how hot a girl is. I ain't spending a fucking dollar to pay. I ain't paying a girl to go on a date with me.
I've always tried to realize
Fuck
like
no.
why they do it, but then it also
They're
comes with, like,
simps.
I just
that, and I
They're
feel like if
fucking
they're already
simps.
spending money on a girl, like let's say when you're dating
God
regular,
damn, bro.
you're dating regular and you're
They're
putting
fucking
so much
simps.
money on, they're probably thinking like, well, I'm gonna spend this
Oh my
much
God.
anyways.
No wonder
on
all
a
these
girl.
I
girls
have a
think-
question.
Okay,
I have a
hold
question for
on.
the ladies. Anyone who's had a sugar daddy, do you like respect these men? Like when you are in their
Yeah,
presence?
just show of hands.
Like, do you
yes, do you
respect
respect the men? Show of hands. If you don't raise your hand, really?
Yes, really, I
You
respect them. You're
respect-
putting money on it, so let's put some respect on their name. Like you're doing it out of your own will
If
to do
you,
it.
you wouldn't date any of them, so you don't respect them.
Actually, just because I don't date you doesn't mean I don't
you did date
respect
the
you.
one guy, I guess, but he was still.
But that didn't mean I
Innocent.
didn't respect him. Like there's a difference
Okay.
between respecting and like.
Okay, what about the
dating.
guys who come to the club? Do you respect them? Or are they marks or whatever?
What?
What are they called? Or no, that's for like
Marks?
prostitutes.
Oh, yeah. You're talking
What?
about
Mark.
Johns.
Marks?
A mark, a trick.
Okay.
Oh my God, I've
John.
never heard of
John.
Mark, but like also the word trick, right? So you like think like when they go to the club, like or when you go to the club, like people are just there to talk and mingle and stuff, but like
Yeah.
you can't go to the club and be like, I'm gonna make this a boyfriend. Like you're at the freaking
Sure.
club, like.
Okay. Wait, any of the guys that you talked about were from this website?
No, they weren't.
Oh, so you got
I-
more than. Okay,
I-
you were.
Well, I honestly forgot.
how
I think
how
I
many
went on-
dates did you go on from this
I
website?
think I only ended up going on one, and like
Okay.
I like kind of started messaging a lot of them. And I feel like a lot of them knew that it was like never gonna progress to a second date. Like they knew they were just paying.
Yeah.
to
Paying
go.
for a date.
How much
Yeah.
did how much did it cost
I
for
think
you?
it was like only like $150.
And then
or
you've used this
something.
website too? Any other girls use this website? Okay. How many dates have you been on from this website?
Like two.
Only two?
yeah,
Homegirl
only
over
two.
here went on 100.
Look, she's good at like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, there's good things
Oh,
that you're at, and there's
shit.
good things that you're not at. Like, there's also like, it's also consists of like
crazy.
messaging and calling and like making sure I'm
Okay.
keeping updated with you. Like,
There-
yes, this date's gonna
Can I ask a
happen.
question?
But then it's also like, okay, like, yeah, here's a date. Okay, cool. But like, you know.
So with these guys on this specific website, if you were to tell them up front that you're not interested in like anything long term or even like maintaining any sort of friendship or relationship, do you think that most of them would still have taken you out and paid you?
No.
Well,
Wait,
they can't really expect anything. They're going on a website called What's Your Price? Like,
Right.
You
What does
really
that
Exactly.
entail? Is that like what's your price for me to take you out? Or is that,
100%.
like-
That's what it sounds like. That's like the
Yeah.
marketing
Are
of
these
their
guys
What's Your
on
Price.
there for dating? Do you think, or like long term?
They want sugar babies.
Okay,
babies.
Oh
so
my
they
God,
just
these
they
men
want
are
it.
ruining the fucking
They
marketplace.
just want like a financial.
Yeah, I
It's
think
so
they know
bad.
what they're
Okay.
getting into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because most of them are unattractive. I've only seen like.
Fucking supermodels over
been
here.
with one, like, have you ever been on a date with a sugar daddy and you're just like instantly repulsed by them, and then you feel like you have to like continue the date? to like.
Yeah,
you know
most
what I
of
mean?
them are repulsive.
Really?
Just by
I would
virtue,
agree.
just by virtue of them having to pay for your time
yeah, I
is
agree.
repulsive.
But I'm just wondering if you ever had to. Like,
I saw
sit
it as like a
with somebody.
second job. Okay.
Wait, I don't get. I don't
hard.
get.
Just
I
working
don't
hard.
get. Why don't these men just get prostitutes? I don't get it.
So that's
Both
the
are just
thing.
as bad, I don't know.
A lot of them try to convince themselves that they're not like, oh, like I'm not paying for sex. I'm just like
Paying for your time.
paying for like your time, and if you want to have sex with me, you will because I'm giving you all this money. But it's like in their head, I think they're just delusional. Just how like most women are delusional. I think there's certain type of men that are delusional too. Like they
Yeah.
expect so much from a woman just because they take them out on a date,
Facts.
even if they pay them or
Well,
not.
wait a second. Wait, can we back off or back up just for a second?
Okay.
You have had sugar daddies, right?
Yes.
And you think they're delusional men, so you're taking advantage of delusional people, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And
She's
do you if a man were to take advantage of a delusional woman and have sex with her, would that be okay?
I'm not saying what I did was okay. I'm saying
No. Answer my question first.
no, it's
And then
not
qualify.
okay.
No, it's not
for-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you taking advantage of delusional men?
Because it was a second job.
Oh, so if a man said, "Oh, it was a second job for me to take advantage of delusional women for sex," that would be a good justification, you think?
No, I'm not
No,
saying my
no,
behavior
wouldn't be a
was like
justification, would
correct.
it?
What I did was totally in the wrong, but I still did it, right? I'm taking accountability for
so
it.
I have a question on this. You did say there were a couple of guys who you'd go on multiple dates with. Were you kind of, I mean,
Manipulative?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you would.
Manipulated the delusion?
Okay. So
Yes,
wait.
I manipulated
But so
them. You wanna
would
hear my story?
Yeah. So you would, knowing that you had no romantic interest, because you could kind of make the argument that you're like, you go on the first date and you're like, I'm giving them a chance. But usually for most people, after the first date, they've made a determination as to whether they want to continue seeing this person or not, right? Most people actually make that up within 5 seconds, 5 minutes of first meeting somebody, but they'll usually continue on with the date to be polite. But you've had the first date with these men. Some of them you'd continue to have, second, third, fourth dates. Did you make the determination on the first date with these men that you continued to go on dates with that you had zero romantic interest in them and that there would never be anything?
I didn't hear the first part of the question, but no, I didn't ever want anything romantic out of any of them.
Right. So, I mean, you were just doing it for the money.
For money, correct.
Because I could sort of get it where the girl's like, well, if I'm going to go on these dates, I disagree with it, but I at least want it to be worth my time. And maybe I will find a guy who I'll like, potentially. I'm open to the idea of dating one of these men who's paying this money. But I think, and I'm not even prepared to even grant that that's the case for most of these women, even on the first date. But let's say it is. But it does kind of call into the question once you start going on multiple dates with them, where I'm like, okay, now you're milking. Mm-hmm. Now it's like there's not even a shot in hell, a chance in hell, any of these men have a romantic or sexual chance with you. And so that's a bit of a quarrel I have there, where it's
Well, the
like,
one that I
could
did
at
wanna
least
date-
give you a pass if you're like, well, I'm giving them a shot for the first date, but I'm still not. But if I'm being charitable, I will.
Okay.
But I'm not.
But why would I give them a shot if I'm not attracted to them?
Well, don't they have their photos on the thing?
Yeah, but what
So
I'm
why go on a
saying
date
though
with them?
is after I go on the date to obviously make money, why would I continuously give them a shot if I'm not attracted to them?
And if it was just for the money too, but yeah, I see your point.
But you would, I guess I'm kind of getting at is, would you lead them on, because it takes two to tango, right? So you have to want to continue to go on the dates to make more money, but they have to continue to want to go on the dates because they think it will be in pursuit of a potential romantic relationship.
No.
So are you essentially playing a game where it's like you're feigning romantic interest in them?
No, they want, at the end of the day, most of them, like, I know they wanted, like, sugar babies, right? So this was when I was, like, 19, 20 at the time.
Okay.
Most of them just wanted sexual encounters without, like, having, like, in the back of, in my opinion, I think they just didn't want in the back of the mind that they were going to a prostitute. I think they wanted to, like, believe that they were dating the person that, like, they were going to hook up with. Like, I think all of them wanted to hook up with me, and I did give them the idea that, like, because my whole facade was that, like, I was super religious and I was, like, gonna be interested in, like, dating them.
Crazy.
That was my story. That was, like, my story. I would tell them, like,
Oh,
I'm
so
looking.
yeah, it was an
I
act.
would lie to them. Yeah, I would lie to them, saying, like, oh yeah, like
boy.
I want to date you,
Okay.
and, like, it can become sexual, like, if, like, I want to be in a relationship with you.
Oh, boy, man.
So at the end of the day, like, I feel like they were working towards that. Even though, like, I mean, for me, it was just, like, all a lie. And then for one of them, I mean, I think he deserved it because he was married. So, like, that's the one that, like,
You
yeah.
milked them.
I milked him
milked
because
him?
he had a whole ass
milked
wife.
them.
He
You
wanted
should
to,
learn
like,
your lesson.
What's that
Learn your
saying?
lesson.
What is that saying? A fool is parted with his money or something? I don't know. I mean, and me and Andrew have had a back and forth on this. We agree. I mean, I don't think men should be using these services, and they're kind of, I think they're stupid if they do use them.
They are.
But obviously, there's also manipulative women on these services. So,
What's what they get, right? I mean,
well, no.
No,
No.
that's not
I don't-
what they get. So,
I don't
so
think
this
it's
is
that.
this is what I mean by the kind of this like double standard woman speak that drives me fucking crazy. Just mere moments ago, what I did was wrong, Andrew. What I should not have done that. This was incorrect. This was immoral. This was bad. And then literally, 10 minutes later, that's what they fucking get. So you got to make up your mind. Is that what they get? Or
Are you
is it
sorry?
that you were doing something that's bad? Like, which one is it?
I think it comes to a point like nowadays, it's a little bit more
Let
like
her answer. Let her answer.
accessible.
Hang on. Let her answer. Which one is it?
Answer.
I feel like that's a tough one because, like, at the end of the day,
You feel
it's
it's a tough
like
one?
everyone's actions, right, is like has consequences. My
That's consequences?
consequences, yeah.
No,
I mean,
consequences. Okay, gotcha.
consequences,
Go ahead.
right? So it's like their actions of like paying a woman to like go spend time with them, like that deserves a consequence that like you might get played. Like, I mean,
You said that you said that these men
you would think
are
they were
delusional.
smart enough. They build businesses, right? You would think they like a business model to get people in, right? Marketing, all that. So it's like, why would you pay a woman to like go on a romantic date?
Well, wait. It's really funny to me that now suddenly there's some justification here where you're saying, well, wait a second. It's actually really tough for me to decide if what I did was wrong or
No, it
incorrect
was
or whatever. Hang on, let me finish now. Whereas just a few minutes ago, you said, wait, these men were delusional and it's wrong to take advantage of delusional people. So I would like to know how this isn't a complete and total contradiction, because that's exactly what it sounds like, is a literal contradiction everybody can see. Can you tell us which one is correct? Instead of continuously contradicting yourself, can you just tell us, are these delusional men that you took advantage of, or did they have it coming?
You can't say both, right? No, am I wrong in thinking like
you
both?
can say both
Like,
if you
am I
want to
wrong for
contradict
thinking both?
yourself.
It's like,
Is it okay to take advantage of delusional people because they have it coming? That would be the entailment, right? So either it's okay to take advantage of delusional people because they got it coming because they're delusional, or it's incorrect to take advantage of delusional people. So it's got to be one or the other, right?
it depends on the situation. For their situation specifically, right? Because like delusional can be like in different terms, like different people.
Oh, really?
Right?
Well, I'm sorry. I thought delusional means disconnected from reality.
Okay.
Would you agree that that's what delusional? What else could delusional mean besides
Well, you know how like
disconnected
women are
from reality?
delusional with like with like men and like
It's gonna be a
dating.
perfect relationship and stuff like that.
Yeah, like women,
So it's
women can
disconnected from the
justify
reality?
women justify a lot of like men's actions because they're delusional that like they think like he really means one thing when in reality he doesn't.
Well, hang on. Let's back up real quick. Let's just make sure we get this down. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that delusional means disconnected from reality?
It's what that comment says, the blame versus fault. I think that makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
forget the comment. Do you agree with me that delusional means disconnected from reality?
Yes.
Okay. And if somebody's disconnected from reality, do you think it's okay to take advantage of them because they don't understand that they're being taken advantage of because they're delusional, they're disconnected from reality, right?
No.
No. So then if that's the case, how could they have it coming?
I guess it's just more so my bias against these men that just pay for women.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's
they
just my
don't-
bias. But
I don't understand. So do they have it coming or don't they have it coming?
They're for sure not coming.
no. Well,
No.
yeah, like the right thing to say is no, yes.
Okay, but is that what you believe?
No.
No. So you do think they have it coming even if they're delusional. So I just want to let you know there's some entailments there that you should know, right? That means that if there was a woman who was delusional, let's say, was disconnected from reality, if a man took advantage of her for sex, what would your objection then be?
Consequence of the action.
It's just bias, right? So it's just like, no, I don't like agree with that, but
Oh, you don't agree with that. So now you have a complete double
Correct.
standard and you're
Correct.
contradicting yourself
Yes.
again, right?
but who doesn't have a double standard? So
Many people don't have a double standard or many people don't move into contradiction territory, especially. I can understand even if you said I'm hypocritical, I could even deal with that. But this is literally just a contradiction in terms. It's a contradiction to say it's wrong for you to take advantage of somebody who's delusional. It's just okay for me to do it because I want to. I don't understand what you're actually saying here.
I'm saying, like, those men, like, that are delusional and paying for women, like, it's okay to take advantage of them. But what I'm saying though is like for a man to take advantage of a woman or vice versa in like the dating realm, I don't think it's right. So like, because it can be vice versa. Like a woman can take advantage of a man too.
Let's back up again. In what fucking world could that ever make sense? In what world does it make sense to say it's okay to take advantage of delusional men for money, but it's not okay for men to take advantage of delusional women for sex? In what fucking world can you square these two ideas?
Well, they have the money to spend anyway, so
She has the sex to give anyways.
yeah, but it's more like, well, not for every woman, but like some
but
women
not
would
for men.
consider that like.
So like every
And
single thing
emotional.
that you say, every single thing you say can just be applied right back at you, right? It's like, oh, well, they have the money to burn. Well, women have the sex to give. Oh, well, they knew what they were getting into. Okay, well, then they knew what they were getting into. It's like all of these things can be applied in both aspects. So
How do
either
you
it's
alleviate
wrong, you did
that?
wrong, and you took advantage of delusional people, and that's incorrect, or you have to bite the bullet that, wait, it's just okay to take advantage of delusional people if you have some motivation that's self-serving. So I just really need to know which one it is.
Graffito tagged donated $200.
Hey, good to see you
You
back in
offer
the
a
chat.
service, have a verbal agreement, and the customer then pays for that service. You now admit you never intended to fully provide the service offered. That's the definition of a scam.
But I don't want to be derailed by this because it's worse. It's actually worse.
Right. It's worse.
Because it's a contradiction in term where you are saying actually that delusional men have less value than delusional women. That's what you're actually saying. Delusional men, less valuable than delusional women. Is that what you're actually saying?
I guess, in a way.
But then if she was a man and then doing it, it would be like the same thing. It would be contradicting. She can't really give the standpoint of a male if she's not in that position. So she can say like, oh, it's delusional for a man to do that. But like, she can't say it's delusional for a woman because it's not like she's getting paid from women to do it. If it was a woman,
We don't need her to. We don't
doing
need her
it-
to take it from the. Well, you're correct in a sense. I don't need her to take it from a female perspective. I need to take it from a male perspective, right? So the ask here is from your perspective, that of the woman. Is it okay for men to take advantage of delusional women for sex? The answer is no. Then how could it be okay to take advantage of delusional men for money? The answer is I don't fucking know. So that's why I'm just like, well, can you reconcile these two things so they make sense to me?
Like, it's money. Like, it's different, right? So, in my opinion, right, it's like, it's not like I'm making them spend millions, right? I'm not making them go broke. When a man lies to a woman to get her into bed, like, I feel like they're
versus
messing.
lying to him for money?
Huh?
Versus lying to him for money?
Correct. Yes, I think it's like.
Why is there? What is the distinction here? I don't understand.
So when a man lies to a woman to get her into bed and like makes her think like she's like the only one or etc., it's like that's like feelings, emotions, and trauma. A guy that I take money from is not going to be traumatized at the end of the day
Because they know what they signed up for when they signed up for it.
Wait. I'm sorry. Hang on.
That's what I was meaning by all of this.
Why do we? First of all, we have a bunch of suppositions here that need to be attacked, right? So the first one is, how can you say that this would always come from trauma if a man is taking care or a man is exploiting a delusional woman for sex? You could never make the claim that that is traumatic, while at the same time saying that it could never be traumatic for a man to be exploited for money. How in the world could you ever make those claims?
Because how would a man be traumatized for losing $200?
Because they feel like they were taken advantage of the same way a woman would if you lied to her for sex, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
Can a
no.
really-
No.
can a man
Okay, so
really be
can you give me the
traumatized
counter
for-
to that besides no?
You have a different perspective?
Well, yeah. So
No,
this man,
no, let's not get into your perspective. Let's finish our conversation. So I'm not going to let you duck out of the convo so quickly, unfortunately for you. So can you reconcile these two positions for me?
I thought I explained myself already.
No, I think you didn't really explain yourself at all. I want to know why it's okay to take care of or to take advantage of delusional men, but not delusional women. I actually do want to know why that's okay.
I explained it because like taking money from a guy where it's like little money, like I don't see that being traumatizing, especially since they.
What about a little bit of head? If a woman just gives you a little bit of head, if she just gives you a little tiny, like she just puts the dick in her mouth for a couple of seconds, right? Is that that's not really taking that much advantage of her, right? She only put it in her mouth for a couple of seconds, right?
Or she only has sex one time with the guy instead
Yeah,
of.
it's not really taking advantage, right?
It's just one time.
She just licked the tip. She just licked the tip. It's not really taking advantage, right?
How does that correlate with $200 for a date?
Because the exploitation is the same. It's the same metric. The idea of the same metric is it's okay to fuck this guy over because it's a small amount of money. It's like, okay, well then it's okay to fuck her over because it's just a tiny amount of head.
Tiny amount of sex.
Yeah, but it's not.
Tiny amount.
But it's not realistic.
Yeah, it is realistic. Men take advantage of delusional women for sex. You would agree that that's true.
No, but
women are taking advantage
little
of
bit of head is
delusional
not realistic.
women are taking advantage of delusional men for money. How is this not correlated in the dating market, especially since you just got done telling me all of the different times you took advantage of men you consider to be delusional for money? How is this not correlative?
Because they just don't correlate with each other.
No, because well, they're not because they're not. Great, perfect. You helped me reconcile the two positions. Thank you so much.
But wouldn't you say,
beautiful.
though, Andrew, that both parties are to blame in that? Or, like, wouldn't you kind of hold both parties accountable for that? Because I feel like they're both kind of the same, on, the same level, I feel like.
I think that you as a person who is not a mentally deranged lunatic, and knowing that you're not a mentally deranged lunatic and are dealing with a mentally deranged lunatic, have a higher duty to not do the wrong thing, specifically because you're not mentally deranged. When you acknowledge the fact, you acknowledge this is delusion, this is wrong, this is incorrect, they have wrong think, they're not engaging with the world properly, you know for sure that you're taking advantage of that person. That's where the problem comes in, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know any of you. I know now for sure that the woman that I just talked to in the orange is totally delusional, right? Just like incomprehensibly delusional. So I know that it's no longer responsible for me to continuously harp on the idea that she's living in all sorts of performative contradictions because it's clear that she's not living in the same reality that I am. So I just move the conversation on, right? Because what else can I do? When you're dealing with somebody who's delusional, what else can you do? But I'm definitely not going to be taking advantage of her for money or taking advantage of her for, any other thing. All I would ever try to do is try to get her to reconcile the contradiction so she wasn't fucking delusional anymore. I think that is the best thing I could ever do, right? What else could I do?
Interesting.
Stop being fucking delusional.
Interesting. We are going to move on to something else here in just a sec, but it is all your guys' stories on this. I do kind of think, comparatively speaking, that women have dating and life on easy mode compared to men. Anybody, any bites on that?
I
Agree.
with that.
I totally agree.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's
Yeah.
easy being a girl for the most
It's
part.
really great being a
that's why,
girl.
like, for example, like OF is like such a big thing now because I feel like back then it wasn't, and like now, like when you say like entertainment, like I feel like that's such like a big thing now.
Wait,
Like
sorry. OF? What?
OnlyFans, like
No, I know what it is, but how does that pertain to?
like delusional, like men pay for that too. So it's like
Yeah, they're Sims. But I'm curious. It's just like crazy to me because. So going back to you, how much money do you think you've made from that website?
Not a lot. I
Well, you
wouldn't
went
say so.
on over 100 dates. Your average, your price was $200. 200 times 100 is 20. Is that 20,000? Is my fucking math
That's
here?
2,000.
No,
Right?
it's,
No, am I wrong? Oh shit.
It's
Am I wrong?
20,000.
Oh yeah, you're right.
20,000.
Oops, I was
Two
thinking
zeros.
something else.
20,000.
Three zeros.
Not good.
And it's like, this was over the course of a year? Okay.
That's like below
mean-
poverty. So
Well, yeah, but it wasn't your only source of income.
how do you know that?
Well, maybe it was, but I
You
mean,
said it was like a
Second job.
Yeah.
Contradicting.
It was like a second job.
yeah. So,
I guess.
but what's interesting to me is like, who? Any girls here have adult brothers?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah,
Only child.
that's it.
Wait, adult brothers?
Adult brothers,
Like older brothers?
18 or over.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Comes over this.
Like, so your brothers would be kind of like, to some degree, your at least approaching or close to your looks equivalent, right? And it's like the sort of attention that you're going to get from men, it like completely dwarfs the attention that your brothers are going to get from women. That's always an interesting thing to me is like, you can take a girl who like has insane sexual optionality. She can make money through her looks or whatever. And like you look at her brother, who is her genetic counterpart in a male's body, and they are like, can't get a girlfriend. It's crazy. Like you look at, it's just wild to me, kind of the differentials here between men and women, even looking like within their own genetic, similarity when it comes to a brother. So
Do you have a sister?
I do, yeah.
So like, what would you do if like she did that? Like, do you find it harder to date for yourself than it is for your sister?
I mean, me and my sister are very different people. I would suspect, though, for example, if my sister was inclined to have a bunch of casual sex, she could get it way easier than I could
And why do you think that is?
because she's a woman.
Do you think it's like the womanly part? Do you think it comes with like personality? Do you think your sister is
You-
more like fun than you are?
You
or
think personality has anything to do with a woman's ability to get laid?
yeah, I do think so. I think confidence is a big
No.
one. Personality.
Look,
if
you
if you
can-
look like sad and like depressed and like boring, like you probably won't be as approachable as a
Yeah,
girl that's like fun
sure.
and like blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah, that's sure. I mean, a woman who's more approachable and who's got a more positive disposition, I'll grant you that she'll be able to sleep with 10 men in a day instead of 5 men in a day. But it doesn't really, like, you can still get laid very easily as a woman.
Is it because men have like lower standards than women?
That's part of it. Also, men have to be the pursuers, but you think that it's do you think it'd be pretty equal between men and women when it comes to getting laid?
Getting laid?
Yeah, getting laid.
Specifically?
Yeah, having sex.
I don't know, because like for girls, it's not a thing to like pay for sex, but a guy would pay for sex. Like, let's say if you want to bring up prostitution,
Right.
like it's more prone or statistically proven that a man is more likely to pay for prostitution than a female is, right?
Yeah.
Because it says what you're saying, like girls are easier to get laid. Okay, yes, but I wouldn't say that it's dependent on like a male or a female. Like I think that like it's just at this point girls just probably have it a lot easier because like of the things all around. But
Wait, I'm a little confused here. So are you agreeing or disagreeing? When
I
it
totally
comes
said
to...
that I agree. I agree.
Oh,
I agree
okay.
with you 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Men just need to have higher standards, and then women wouldn't.
Wait, no. But if men, hold on. So if men had higher standards, it would be harder for them to get laid.
But you said that you agree with the men having lower standards.
No.
Sure.
Well, the only reason
Men
women
do have-
get laid is because men have lower standards, right?
No, that's not true.
So what are the standards for men if you
It's
like
not
thinking of a
because of
realm of
that.
like
Yes,
it's,
it is.
It's not because of that. It is true that men do have lower standards.
Okay.
And it is also true that women have a much easier time getting laid.
But why
it's
do
not
women have an
because-
easier time? Why?
Why?
Because
do-
men want to have sex with them.
Because
But
why?
the thing
they
that's
look
really
good?
funny is like, okay, fair enough. You can say men should raise their standards on women before they have sex with them. I agree. I think that they should. But shouldn't women lower their standards when it comes to marriage and long-term relationships of men so they don't end up being fucking cat ladies, which so many are ending up being in their 40s or ending up being cat ladies?
What do you think,
I
34-year-old?
love cats.
Virgin?
I have 2 cats. I love them. What do you have against cat ladies?
won't be the only pussy.
Seemingly, at least this is the perspective that I see, is that these cat ladies, and I'm guessing that you have multiple cats.
I have 2.
Is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. What are their
Damn, you fit
names?
the- that's the
what are your cats'
stigma.
names?
My cat's names, Reggie and Wills.
Reggie. So you gave them people names.
I
Gave them
did.
people names.
Nice, strong Englishman names.
You didn't even give them animal names. You gave them person names, right? And
did.
so this kind of actually shows the void, right? The void of the idea of no children, so I make these like fur babies and I give them people names and then I anthropomorphize them into people like Disney does with Bambi, right? Now the deer can talk and it's like a person. Women do this all the time, but ultimately they seem to complain incessantly about it by the time they're in their late 30s and 40s when they go, oh shit, I don't have children and can no longer have children. What the fuck do I do? And you know what the answer is?
Play with your
There's nothing
kitty.
you can do. It's done.
Play with your cats.
Play with the
What
Maddie,
is
we
the
got to
answer?
read a couple chats. Go ahead.
As a 66-year-old man, it gives me some hope that you do what you do, Brian. Remind me of my son.
Oh, thank you, man.
Andrew, always a pleasure to see you in debates. It's great to see young men bring forth facts and truth.
Hey, old man, Mr. Peace. I think this is your first time sending in a message. Really appreciate the message. I remind you of your son. That's kind of
And the $100.
wholesome, little wholesome moment.
And the money.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Scam too.